Hi guys. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Caitlin, or Katie. I have been following the path of trying to find my life purpose and my worth now for a while. So, with that said, I feel like it's time to share some of that with the world. So, I want to start by saying the journey of life that we're all on, right? The journey of life. When you started this journey to find purpose and self-love and meaning, I want you to really think, was it for selfish ways? I don't think so. Mine wasn't for selfish ways, because when you truly want to find your purpose, you know it's because you want to do the best that you can do and be the best that you can be for humankind in general. Okay, so I want you to remember that as the waves and the ups and downs come in and out on your journey, right? A few things I want to note with astrology. By the way, I plan on doing a deep dive into astrology, but I've had so many thoughts and so much inspiration for my writing and poetry and other things that I haven't started with the basics, because I feel like we're all elevating pretty intensely right now. So I feel like I am guided to where I need to set my intentions for the day. So I try to look at where I feel that I need to be at versus where I would like to be at. So it's ever changing, right? So I want you to remember that through this journey too. So I also want you to remember, as a Christian, as a human being, as a person that believes in a higher spiritual realm, right? That nobody really knows what's going on, but the people sometimes that are so confident in what is going on might have insight, right? Might have some insight on things, because I know if you're anything like me, I'm stubborn, okay? I am a Capricorn sun, a Taurus moon, and then a Scorpio, a Phoenix, a Scorpio rising sign. So I have had problems in life balancing between my grounding earth energy and my fire water energy, right? Because even though my sun and moon are earth signs, I have more Scorpio and Sagittarius in my natal birth chart than anything. So, what I'm trying to get to, sorry, ADHD, spiritual ADHD, spiritual ADHD with my knowledge. What I'm trying to get to is that you have to look at yourself and what you truly want. And that's what the universe, source, spirit, God, Christ Almighty, that's what He wants you to do. right? There is no time limit. He needs you when he needs you, right? So you have to really self-reflect, because this world has made us feel like we're robots, okay? We won't get into much more other than that. This world has made us feel like we're robots, okay? It's time to get back to the basics. It's time to cut through the illusion, right? We've gone inward. Now it's time that those seeds that we're planting, we start taking action on. So, with that said, might have been all over the place a little bit there. I have a couple of notes that I, through my research and knowledge, have wrote down that I want to expand on with the full moon coming up in Capricorn on June 29th. And Taurus moving into Chiron starting yesterday, the 19th, that I want to touch on. First off, if you've self-reflected, you've done your shadow work, you're facing your fears, you're evolving, it's constant. There is no timeline. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I use this as a tool of knowledge, right? That's my purpose, is to spread my wealth and knowledge as a tool for people, to help people. So if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But Chiron moving into Taurus, it's been in Aries for 8.5, 9 years now. And Aries element is fire. It's very much beautiful in ways, but very much action fire oriented, right? There's positives and negatives of each sign. That's why it matters not just to look at your horoscope, but to look into your actual birth chart and what it means to me, because the daily horoscopes that were in the news on just your sun sign probably don't matter as much as when you deep dive into the actual meaning. So also I want to note, if you're interested in your birth chart and learning more, I can help with that. And also, if you're interested in a more personal, not like tarot, I do tarot reading, I can help with that too. So just message me, get my attention somehow. You guys know what to do. Action, right? So anyways, back to Chiron. It's spent 8 years in Aries, which is very fire energy, and it is now moving in to Taurus. Taurus, which is my moon sign and my Chiron sign, which is our wounded. Chiron stands for the wounded healer, which, if you know anything about, Chiron is Saturn's son. Saturn was a Titan. In Greek mythology, Saturn was a Titan. Basically, he ended up getting paranoid later in life. He ate his children, okay, and he ended up going crazy. But that's why he's trapped in this loop of time, right? Of he can't die, he's just there, so he has to face everything, right? So death is not to be feared. Spirituality is not to be feared. I'll touch on that too. But anywho, I just want to say, we're going from a fiery energy to a grounding energy. So it's important now that you take your time to really reflect on these seeds that you've been planting and start taking action and start knowing your worth and protecting your peace and saying what you really mean, because you're ready. Love you. Look more on the moon coming up on the 29th. Peace and love.